Today, we're diving into one of the most incredible, high-stakes dramas in the entire Hebrew Bible. It's a story from 2 Kings, chapter 11, and it's got everything. A brutal power grab, a royal family on the brink of extinction, and a secret plan, 6 years in the making, to save a sacred promise. This is a wild story of conspiracy, courage, and covenant.
Okay, so to really get this, we've got to set the scene. Picture it, the southern kingdom of Judah, around 841 BC. Things are chaotic, to say the least. The king of Judah, Athaliah, has just been killed. And up north, this guy named Jehu is on a bloody rampage of his own. It is right in the middle of this political storm that our story kicks off.
So here's how we're going to walk through this amazing account. We're going to follow the events almost verse by verse, starting with a queen's shocking rise to power and ending with the incredible story of a hidden king and a promise that refused to die.
All right, our story starts in verse 1, and it begins with an act of violence so ruthless and calculated, it just sets the whole crisis in motion.
So the story opens with this jaw-dropping moment. Athaliah, the queen mother, finds out her son, the king, is dead. But she doesn't mourn. No. Instead, as verse 1 tells us, she arose and destroyed all the seed royal. This isn't just a simple power play. This is a full-on dynastic purge. She's trying to wipe out the entire royal family tree.
So who is this Athaliah? We'll get this. She's the daughter of King Ahab and Queen Jezebel from the northern kingdom. You know, that Ahab and Jezebel. This is so important because it connects her directly to the worship of Baal, an influence she brought with her down to Judah. Her brutal tactics, they're straight out of the northern kingdom's playbook.
And here's why this is so much more than just a political coup. By trying to destroy all the seed royal, Athaliah was taking a direct shot at the Davidic covenant. That's God's sacred promise to King David that his royal line, his family, would last forever. She wasn't just killing princes, she was trying to kill a divine promise.
But just when all hope seems lost, a secret resistance sparks to life. In verses 2 and 3, we see how everything, and I mean everything, now hangs on protecting one tiny, vulnerable child against absolutely impossible odds. Right here, in verse 2, we meet our first hero, a woman named Jehosheba. In an act of just breathtaking courage, she grabs the infant heir, Joash, right out of the middle of the massacre. The Bible says she stole him, which really tells you how dangerous and secret this mission was. She was saving God's chosen line.
Then, verse 3 drops this bombshell. Joash was hidden away for 6 years. 6? Can you imagine? For 6 whole years, this usurper queen is ruling the country, completely oblivious to the fact that the real king, the very last link in David's line, is alive and being raised in secret right under her nose, inside the temple itself.
And this sets up this amazing tension for those 6 years. You've got these two parallel powers existing in Jerusalem. Over in the palace, you have Athaliah's public rule, built on violence and the worship of Baal. But just a stone's throw away, in the house of the Lord, a hidden divine authority is being protected and nurtured. It's a sanctuary for the true heir.
So, while the queen ruled, somebody else was quietly playing the long game. Starting in verse 4, we see the mastermind of this whole restoration start to put his plan into action, all from inside the holy temple.
And that mastermind is the high priest Jehoiada. This guy is the strategic genius behind the whole operation. He gets that the temple isn't just a place for sacrifices. It's an institution with the power and the resources to protect the rightful king and pull off a counter-coup.
Now, he doesn't do this alone. Verses 4 through 9 lay it all out. Jehoiada builds a secret alliance. He pulls in the military captains, the Levites, the temple guards. He gives them weapons, sure, but the most important thing he does is make them swear an oath of loyalty, not to him, but to the Lord and to the hidden king. This is all about faithfulness to the covenant.
Okay, so after 6 long years of secrecy and planning, it's finally go time. In verses 10 and 11, Jehoiada lays out his final, decisive orders for the coup at the temple.
Jehoiada's plan is just surgical. It's so clear and methodical. And notice how it's all framed. This isn't some chaotic rebellion. It's a carefully sanctioned operation. The goal is to restore order, trap the usurper, crown the true king, and carry out God's justice. It's a political move, absolutely, but it's wrapped in a divine mandate.
And now we hit the climax in verse 12. This is it, the moment of truth, the restoration of God's promise, and the big reveal that's been kept secret for 6 long years.
And the plan works perfectly. Athaliah is brought out, and justice is done. Then, this little 7-year-old boy, Joash, is crowned king. And the people, their reaction is instant. They rejoice. And they're not just happy about a new king, they are praising God for keeping his promise, for preserving his covenant.
You see, this one moment is really 2 sides of the same coin. For Athaliah, it's judgment. Her violent takeover is over, and the influence of Baal worship is rooted out. But for Joash, it's restoration. A rightful reign begins, the line of David is secure, and God's covenant is preserved.
So what's the bottom line here? What are the big takeaways from this incredible story? First, the Davidic covenant was in real, legitimate danger of being wiped out completely. Second, God's plan often unfolds through the gutsy actions of faithful people like Jehoshaphat and Jehoiada. And third, holy places, sacred institutions, can become strongholds for hope and preservation, especially when the political world is falling apart.
And that leaves us with this final thought to chew on. The story from 2 Kings 11 really seems to suggest that when a nation's future looks hopeless, when its rightful leadership is gone, real preservation doesn't always start in the grand halls of power. Sometimes it begins in hidden, sacred places, nurtured by quiet courage and a faith that just refuses to let go of a promise.